The Athletic, and
No.
let me start. Let me start by saying,
What did the Athletic do? Was it Seth Emerson?
I actually I don't know who wrote this for the Athletic. But this is a hypothetical exercise because college football teams cannot be purchased, and then so
I mean,
for right now they can't be purchased. So hopefully we can all pray that it stays that way, and the Georgia Bulldogs can't be just bought for $2 billion and then move the team
bought by
to
bought by
the
Saudi
team up to
Arabia.
Dahlonega or something. I don't know. So they named their most valuable college football franchises, essentially programs, and 9 SEC schools were in the top 15 of these rankings. And the Georgia Bulldogs came in at number 2, sir.
Yeah.
Number 2 most valuable program in the country. According to their calculations, they are worth $1.92 billion.
Wow.
And the Falcons, for perspective, are worth $5.2 billion. So NFL teams are just worth an insane. Didn't the Panthers sell for like $2 billion or something like that? And that's got to be one of the bottom ones in the NFL, right?
I bet the least valuable is like the Bengals or something.
The Cardinals. I don't know. I feel like me and my wife joke about every time we see the Cardinals that they're just the most. The Cardinals feel like the most irrelevant franchise. I don't know. Like we forget the Cardinals exist.
Well, they're worth $4.3 billion US dollars.
Is that right?
So they're not worthless to everyone, apparently.
Wow. Is that? Do you have a list in front of you?
Bro. Michael Wilson, huh?
And they have a great stadium.
Yeah, their stadium is cool. There's been like a lot of Super Bowls there. I feel like every year they don't have a venue for the Super Bowl, they just put it there.
Yeah, they might as well. And also, I don't know why they didn't set the standard of like you can put natural grass indoors.
I know. No one does that.
I don't know why everyone's not doing that. Like Real Madrid has some sort of crazy elaborate underground turf system. Like, so it's real grass, but it's like, so I don't know. I hate that they don't have real grass. I hate football not being played on real grass in general.
Fix it.
But yeah, so Texas came in at number 1, $2.38 billion. Georgia number 2 at $1.92 billion. What is your thoughts when you see something like that?
Texas is number 1.
They are.
That's interesting.
And I guess they had the average.
I guess
go ahead.
McConaughey on your sideline will do that, but I mean, I was gonna say for Georgia, like winning back-to-back national championships in the last couple of years will do that, but that doesn't really explain Texas, does it?
Yeah. Georgia's average football revenue, average football revenue means their average
money they make
per year of the last 3 years. But I was thinking this isn't cumulative of the last 3 years. This is the average per year of the last 3 years is $147 million a year, and Texas is at 183. Okay. So, and that's a pretty big gap because there's a couple that are right around Georgia. Interesting. Ohio State is third on this list, but they're at 116. And Notre Dame's fourth, but they're up at 143. So Michigan's at 141. So Florida is down at 12th on this list. And there's, like I said, there's 9 SEC schools in the top 15. Florida is what? 7th in the SEC? Like, that's wild. Like, it's like I do this podcast with this Tennessee guy every week, Chase Thomas, and it's like he hypes up Tennessee in a way. It's like, oh yeah, the 10th ranked recruiting class and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I remember those days when you signed the 10th ranked recruiting class, and it was cool until you realized it was like 7th in the conference. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of, what you're up against. But yeah, so outside of the SEC is Notre Dame, Ohio State, Michigan, USC, Penn State, and Oregon. Those are the only other teams that made the top 15 that are that weren't in the SEC, and 12 of the top 30 were SEC. So I mean, it's literally everyone but Missouri, Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Vanderbilt. Like that's basically Mizzou. I bet Mizzou hates being in that group. But that's where you are. That's where you are to the rest of us, Missouri. But yeah, what's interesting to me is like without the recent realignment, like the Big Ten would only have 3 of the top 15 and the SEC would have 7. Like, I think that speaks to how superior the SEC has been to the Big Ten. Like, Oregon and Washington and USC like drastically raise like the brands that the Big Ten has, because I think Washington was even like 16 or 17 in here or something.
Yeah, I guess that's just because like the SEC still has some semblance of geography to its conference for now. I know they have like Missouri and like Oklahoma and Texas now, but like, you know, at least it's not like the Big Ten where it's
it is still contiguous.
The Big Ten, it's like, here's a school from Ohio. They're going to play a school in Oregon. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So
I hate it so much.
Yeah. So I guess like my point with that is just like the Southeast in the U.S. is just maniacal about college football and has been for quite some time now. So I guess those schools are just kind of those schools are grandfathered in as like huge money makers and things like that. Whereas like the Big Ten, you know, up until the conferences got all messed up and everything, like the Big Ten had some flagship programs, but it wasn't a thing where like there weren't 6-7 programs in the Big Ten where like football was a religion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some Big Ten fan would get really mad hearing me say that, and they start listing all these different schools. But that's just kind of the feeling I get, because I don't think anyone compares to the Southeast in terms of just being crazy about college football. And I think
they probably would take offense to that. And I think that's what the argument always becomes, that like the depth of the SEC always gets questioned. But it's like, especially now that's at 16, but even before Texas, Oklahoma, like if nothing else, there's like 8 to 10 programs that like expect to like compete.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, and it's like the Big Ten cannot say that. There's 3. Wisconsin and Iowa doesn't even expect to win for championships, and they've probably been like a top 5 Big Ten team over the last 20 years. And Penn State, you could argue how close they've ever actually legitimately gotten. You know what I mean? Like they didn't get as close as like the Mark Richt years or anything like that. And I think a lot of people would kind of talk about Georgia and Mark Richt like they were irrelevant or something. Like they weren't a championship contender, even though, you know, we know how good they actually were, just never great, unfortunately. But
they are one of those schools though that like they do have a great fan base though. I would say
Penn State for sure.
Like they belong up there in like the upper echelon, just as like brands and programs, and like I know that the Penn State brand has been soiled in recent years, but before all that, like Penn State football was like a religion, you know.
The brand made a comeback. It definitely had a hiccup.
Some of us will never forget about that. But
no, and you shouldn't. You should never forget. But yeah, so I think this was an interesting list, just seeing how these teams are kind of evaluated. Like USC is 8th, and 71 million is their average revenue. Like by far less than like anyone in like the top 20. So I'm kind of confused at their evaluation.
It's all the money that was backloaded from the Pete Carroll era that was funneled in.
Yeah, maybe that. I mean, you know how they talk about like the LA, like the Angels, like when they changed their name to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, they were immediately worth like $1 billion more. Exactly. So maybe that's what it is.
But ever. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Man, like I know Anaheim residents were pissed, bro. Like, but yeah, like such a joke.
Like Tennessee is at 124 million annual revenue, and USC, and they're one spot behind USC at 71. So that's kind of crazy. But yeah, the list: 1 Texas, 2 Georgia, 6. I'm just reading the SEC teams: 6 Alabama, 9 Tennessee, 10 LSU, 12 Florida, 13 Auburn, 15 A&M. And then it keeps going. It's who else is it? I didn't write the other one. I didn't number the rest of them, but who's in there?
A&M probably spends more money on recruiting than they're worth as a team. They're probably
probably they might break even.
Yeah.
Arkansas, Ole Miss, South Carolina are both in the top 30. But yeah, in top ACC school, Florida State at 18. Clemson at 22. So
damn. I bet Dabo wants Clemson to be as low as possible.
Just a little old Clemson.
They're not Clemson ain't learned nothing but the word of the Lord.
Yeah, exactly. And then Utah, TCU at 29 and 30, the only Big 12 schools that made it.
Shout out to Utah.
Shout out to the Utes.
Shout out to TCU too. Sorry about that, Natty, that one time.
Yeah, we beat them so bad that everyone acts like they were garbage, and it angers me. Like, this isn't the BCS. They didn't vote them number 2. Like, they beat Michigan to get there.
Player on offense was Quentin Johnston.
Yeah,
they had no chance.
And hey, Max Duggan, he was a Heisman finalist. He had heart, you know.
He did. He had a lot of. He was very fun to watch. That whole team was great. Shout out to.
I enjoyed. Yeah,
they were fun, but
it was a great. I remember that Baylor game when they had the fire drill. To win it at the buzzer.
That was pretty awesome.
That was good stuff. I feel like that TCU team was fun
a really
to watch.
Good game. I forgot about that game.
And then it was 7-7, right? Like Georgia scored, and then they came right back down. It was like, okay, we got a game on our hands.
Max Duggan ran it in. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
no, did not have a game.
That and then 58 unanswered after that.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It's good stuff. I need to rewatch that one. That's a fun. Watch.
I sometimes do, like, real late at night when I like need something to put on in the background and I know that I'm gonna like do something else. I'll just like let that play. It's great. I love when I get to the fourth quarter and I see like Branson Robinson's on the game. I'm like, nice, dude.
Yeah. I actually had the Rose Bowl, the Oklahoma Rose Bowl on while I was working the other day, and the play that gets me like the most excited in that whole game is after Chubb's touchdown to start the second half. That cut it to 7.
Was that like the insane one where he ran through the defense?
He just ran up the middle, and then he just busted out. Yeah, and then ran for like 50 yards.
Yeah.
And Hardman almost took that punt to the house too, because they had to get a 3 and out after all of that. Oklahoma got the ball to start the second half, but after Chubb's touchdown, then Oklahoma gets it and they go 3 and out. And on the third down is the play where it's like Baker is like kind of running out. He doesn't know which way to go. And then it's just like Lorenzo Carter, Roquan, I think maybe Ledbetter, just all 3 kind of swarm him. And it's just like the whole place is going nuts because we have all the momentum now. And it's just like, it's like the classic junkyard dog type stuff, you know, just swarming.
Yeah.
It was that.
Whenever it's like a gang sack, it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just kind of got broken down. It's kind of chaotic, especially because Baker's the Heisman Trophy winner that kind of runs around and makes plays. So it's like whenever you bottle that up, it was that gets the juices flowing.
To Lorenzo Carter on his retirement, by the way.
Yes, sir. Gwinnett County great.